A very lovely afternoon to you. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Apparently, I'm a sporting director. Apparently.
How are you? All good, all good. I like your outfit, Ghana man.
Yeah.
Who's your tailor?
So there are 3 different tailors.
Who made one outfit?
Yeah. But
how can you tell me this story?
But I've paid half. They gave me. They said I should pay in installments. So.
How can you tell me this story? How can you tell me
Anyway,
this
you said
story?
how am I doing?
Yes.
Well, the club is fine. The club is healthy.
Uh-huh.
You know, as a sporting director, I can tell you that plans are far advanced to strengthen the team further and to ensure that we place in the this season.
Talk your talk.
Yeah,
talk your talk.
This season, the season is almost over.
Talk your talk.
So right now we are placing in the top 2, of the Ghana Premier League. What do I say? Yeah. So this one.
Are you doing an ass now?
What's it?
Mikel Arteta things.
we are taking this game by game. We are taking this game by game.
Anyway, welcome to the show, Gary.
Yeah, thank you.
Sitsofe, Atsrim, Philip.
Sitsofe.
Is it a P or a
No,
F?
it is a F.
It's an F.
It's a what?
It's a F.
If you eat okra like Gary does,
Yeah.
if you eat okra like Gary does, you pronounce
You will
the.
slip it through like
You
that.
do it like he's done it.
It's not a P. It's not an. It's a F. What do I say?
Gary, say it again.
It's a F.
What?
Sporting
You
director.
see, me, I'm a Ghana by birth, but by marriage I'm ever, you understand?
Thank you.
And the is transmitted by
Ole
marriage.
fetre dum la, ole fetre dum. I'm ole fetre dum.
Okro.
Okay, ole fetre.
Okro. A slippery.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sitcho, your
man.
name is what? Sitcho
Sitsofe.
Pe Fe.
Eat okra. Only okra can sort that thing out. It can sort that tongue out. Sitsofe. That's the name. So keep it as Sitcho to be safe.
I'll just stick with Sitcho. I've been struggling with this all my life.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank
welcome.
you very much. Whereas Gary is the sporting director, I like to say I'm the sporting consultant.
That's right. Sporting consultant. Anyway, welcome to the show. I like your outfit.
Thank you.
I barely or rarely see people in black jalabia, but you have done it.
Yeah, I love black.
Okay.
I love black.
But you love black jalabia.
Black everything.
Do you know what black jalabia means?
What does it mean?
I don't know.
That's all.
Anyway, welcome to the show. And to introduce my next guest, the newest member of the Joy Sports team, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on.
Oh, Chale! The man arrived.
Oh, Chale!
Wait, Daniel, what's the? Wait. What's the saying?
Oh, I feel good, man.
Babe.
Oh, Chale.
Hey. Calm down. It's a hot afternoon.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Do that to me.
Oh, Chale!
Don't do that to me.
Bad man.
Oh, Chale.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, my friend.
Yeah, you are, eh?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I can tell.
I feel good and I look good.
Yeah.
And when I look good and I feel good, I must sing, my brother. Oh, Chale! No, I must sing, my brother.
No, don't do that.
No, you see, back in the day,
Don't do that.
back in the day, I was a very staunch Shakira fan. But something happened in the last few months between Shakira and Piqué. So I've left them. Yes.
Yes.
Now I like Rihanna. Chale. Right now I like Rihanna. Oh, Chale. See.
Hold on.
Oh, Riri,
Oh, Chale.
Oh, Chale.
When I see Riri and I see baby Riri and I see ASAP, I say, oh, Chale.
When you see Riri, and you see baby Riri, and you see boy Riri.
Oh, boy Riri. Chale. See, friends. Listen.
Hold on.
Listen.
Hold on, Daniel. Hold on. First of all, Why is steamer like
Charlie, this fired here, bro.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
No, I said back in the day,
Listening.
I was in love with Shakira.
Thank you.
Then something happened in the last few months between she herself and Piqué.
Yeah. They say her cake. She opened her fridge and somebody has tempted.
Somebody has eaten the jam. And somebody has eaten the jam. Piqué know the jam.
Yes.
Charlie,
Piqué's not a jam man.
he's not a jam man.
So who jammed
the jam? Hey, Nana. And I said, Shakira, no lie. Shakira, no lie. You see, now I like Riri. No, Charlie.
Okay.
No,
Riri.
Danny.
Riri.
Give me one Riri.
Really?
Exactly.
Oh Nana, what's my name? Oh Nana, what's my name? Oh Nana, what's my name? Oh Charlie.
This is not good behavior. Okay. That's enough. Thank you, Daniel. Welcome. Shakira. Now, wait.
Riri.
Now what? Now Riri.
Riri.
Now Riri. That's right.
Yeah.
Please, we beg ASAP Rocky. Don't do anything.
It's okay.
To make that, it's okay.
It's okay.
To make Daniel Cranty, because the last thing we want is for Daniel Cranty to move to Hailey Bailey.
Oh Charlie.
Because over there's no music.
Oh Charlie.
Guys, Muftawu and Nabila will join us shortly. But let's begin the conversation. There's quite a lot to talk about, to cover in the next hour or so. We'll begin with this one. Okay, so the head coach, Chris Hughton, has named his squad for the upcoming games against Angola. 2 matches. Ghana has 4 points from 2 games in the qualifiers already. A victory against Madagascar and obviously the draw against the Central African Republic. Okay, so now we have 4 points from 2 matches, but so do Angola as well. So this basically is a top of the table clash. Chris Hughton, this is his first ever BlackStars squad, and if you look at the statistics, he's maintained just about 75 or so % of the squad that played at the World Cup, of course. And now the squad that is named, very interesting names, but more importantly, some names that many people expected to have been in the squad a long time ago. So I just go through them. I'm sure a lot of you have seen them, even if you've been hiding under a rock. I'm sure you've seen it somehow. But if you haven't, here's a reminder. 25-man squad. And the goalkeepers are Jojo Wallacott. Well, he makes a return to the team. Obviously, he missed the World Cup. Lawrence Atizigi was number 1. He's in the team. Manaf Nuruddin is the other third goalkeeper. Obviously, the big news in there is that no Ofori yet, and the lad also misses out. Defenders Tariq Lamte, Dennis Odoy, Gideon Mensah, Patrick Pozo, Daniel Amate, Joseph Edu, Mohamed Salisu, and Alexander Jiku. Noticeably, Baba Rahman is not in the team. He's injured, and so is Ali Duseidu. So 2 fullbacks injured. In their places, of course, Patrick Pozo, a left back who plays in Israel, and also coming into the team is, of course, you have the 2 right backs there already. 3 of them were named for the World Cup, but instead this time around we have 2 of them for this game against Angola. The midfielders are Thomas Partey, Majid Ashimeru missed the World Cup, makes a return to the team. Salis Samet is in there. Edmond Aldo also missed the World Cup, he makes a return to the team. The wingers are Jordan Ayew, Osman Bukari, Kamaldeen Sulemana. All of them were at the World Cup. The 2 that were not there but making this team, Rashford Yeboah Koningsdorfer, is in the team, plays for Darmstadt in the Bundesliga 2. Joseph Pencil, most noticeably. His absence raised a few eyebrows, or many eyebrows, in fact. He is in the team as well. Deserve a call-up, maybe. Forwards are Mohamed Kudus, Andre Ayew, Kamal Sowa, Inaki Williams, Anton Semenyo. All of them were at the World Cup. Chris Hughton squad for the 2 games against Angola. All right, let me begin with... in fact, Daniel, you get a guest privilege.
Yep.
Well, newcomer, 1-man 10 privilege. All right, Daniel, you've seen the squad. Yesterday we did a little space. And the conversation I've picked up, especially on social media, is that most people seem to like this squad. Why is that?
Because it's a quality squad. In fact, before I start, let me say Baba Rahman wasn't dropped. Baba Rahman is injured.
What kind of...
No. It's an important clarification.
Oh, it's very important. Baba Rahman wasn't dropped.
That's right.
Baba Rahman is injured.
What you want to say is that if Baba were on his 2 feet...
Oh, he's coming.
Oh, he plays. Yes.
Why
So
you
in
select
fact,
Baba
So
Rahman?
yesterday, I saw some people, they went to post that, what do people make of the Chris Hughton's decision to drop Baba Rahman? Who said he was dropped?
Who said he was dropped?
Ah, Massa.
Baba Rahman has not been dropped. He's injured.
That's right.
Yes.
So is Ali Duseidu.
So is Ali Duseidu.
Yes.
And Kofi.
So if Ali
And
Duseidu,
Kofi Tre, thank you, my brother.
So if Ali Duseidu and Kofi Tre were not dropped, then
Then Baba Rahman also wasn't dropped.
That's right.
I like the spirit. Oh, thank God. I feel good, man. Look, it's a quality squad. Look, I'm happy. And for me, the key word is continuity.
Yeah.
There was a general consensus after the AFCON, the disaster at the AFCON last year, that this team needed a rebuild. And that's where, for me, I will always credit Otuado and the job that he did. Together with Masu Didi Dramani, George Boateng, and Chris Hughton himself. They, in the past year, we've been able to assemble a group of players who have quality, are young, and can take this team for the next, can take over Africa for the next, let me say, 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm happy because, as you said, 75% of the guys who made the squad were at the World Cup, and that shows that the thinking was a group thinking.
Yeah.
There was involvement from Chris Hughton and the guys behind him now in George Boateng and Didi Dramani and also Otuado. You could tell because if you compare, although Otuado served as assistant under Milo, if you compare the Milo squad at the AFCON to Otuado's first squad, there was a lot of differences.
Right.
But if you compare the last World Cup squad to this one we've seen, we are talking about 75% of players who are at the World Cup over here. So continuity is very important. When you are rebuilding, it's very important to maintain a certain level of stability, and that is what we have. If you look at the profile of players also, they are young, they are really, really good. I'm not going to judge them by their first tournament experience because it was always going to be difficult. We were the lowest ranked team heading into the World Cup when one of the group of deaths. In fact, for me personally, that was a group of death.
It was tough.
It was a very tough group, and for me, 3 points it's a huge achievement considering where we were at the moment. You may not want to admit it because you are Ghana, but you were last going into the World Cup.
True.
So if you are doing 2-0 and expected that you qualify from the group, relax because you were last going into the World Cup. That's just something that we need to understand. There were teams that finished bottom of their groups with 1 point and they were celebrating. You finished bottom, you finished with 3 points, and you were last heading into the competition. So it was good. You take step by step. And that's what Chris Hughton and these guys are doing. So I'm happy. Look, there are obviously some, personally, everybody has their favorites and everybody has a way that they would like the team to play. But as at now, we don't know what Chris Hughton is going to do.
Yeah.
So we can only trust that he will pick the group of players that he feels can fit his system, that he feels that going forward, they can become a force to reckon with. So for me, I love this team. I can see quality in the team. Even the guys who are injured and are not around, I know that when they come, they'll add to the quality of the team.
That's right.
Oh, Baba Rahman.
You know, Baba Rahman. You see, honestly, my personal opinion on Baba Rahman is that I feel like most often he's unfairly targeted. It's almost like he's a very easy target. So every small thing, then some people will put Baba Rahman's picture there. And if you go and see the comments, they are not nice. Has done well for this country. He's paid his dues. He has paid his dues. He's played an awful lot for this country. So sometimes we have to be sensitive to the to the feelings of the players. It's very important. I'm not saying he should be giving a call up when he doesn't deserve it, but you know, sometimes the attacks can get a bit too. Muftawu Nabila has joined us here. The man from Du, Muftawu Nabila's hometown is Du.
I like his socks.
No. Oh God, I'm cracking up because Nabila, what color is your socks?
What has the socks got to do with you?
What color is your socks?
But you are wearing the socks.
See your true colors. Oh, Charlie.
But you are wearing the socks.
Colorful socks.
Wait. Nabila, what color is your socks?
I don't know. I don't
What do
know.
you mean?
Ask Daniel.
Wait, I don't understand. Oh. Look.
Are we talking BlackStars or are we talking Nabila?
Let me finish. I'm just welcoming you to the show. You have gone to wear brown kaftan made by your designers, next level. The kaftan is perfect. I've just given your designers shout, so you have no reason to complain about what I'm going to say next. You have gone to wear brown shoe, perfect. But your socks is green. Or is it what? It's blue. Why? Oh, goodness me. Oh, goodness.
It's okay. It's okay.
Nabila, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Sitsofe, let's continue the conversation. The BlackStars squad. Obviously, like Daniel said, continuity is very important. A chunk of the players that were at the World Cup are in there, more than 70%. Says a lot. And more importantly, Chris Hughton was part of that team. So he knows these players that he's called up. For me, I think that while that is commendable, I'm still a bit worried about the way Ghana has played. Even when Chris Hughton was technical advisor, I don't know how much control he had over tactics or how much input he had over tactics, but Ghana conceded for fun. We have been conceding for fun. In fact, that was one of the, apart from the 2 clean sheets Otuado kept against Nigeria, and in fact, Nigeria didn't keep a clean sheet in the second leg. We conceded, we qualified on away goal rule. We conceded for fun in the Karen Cup. We went to the World Cup in 3 matches, we conceded 7 goals. It's crazy. How does that stop? Because I feel like that is an essential part of what Chris Hughton has to do going forward. How do we tackle this leak at the back?
Yeah. Before I talk about even the league, to be honest, I look at the squad and many people are saying, oh, it's quality, it's continuity. To be fair, he had no real options anywhere.
Exactly.
It's not as if we've got a bunch of players sitting somewhere and he's decided that those we took to the World Cup, I'm sticking with them. Who else would he have called? So Chris Hughton has just done the obvious. It's not rocket science.
In other words, that's a call up even you would have made.
No.
Can
you produce another call up apart from what he's just dropped?
That would be tough.
So that is just about the best around for Ghanaians. So yeah, it's good. And to be fair, going to the World Cup, we took some of our best players to the World Cup. Yeah. And the players that didn't go to the World Cup have since been called to join the team, like Fentuo and what have you. Ashimiro was clamored for before the World Cup, and here they are. And what that says is that it set the tone for people to believe that when you work hard, you have a place in the BlackStars. So that is really good. But the one thing I like about the BlackStars call-up, more than the names on there, is the categorization of the players and their roles and their positions. It's about the best I've seen. Because we've seen call-ups where the captain Andrea has been named as a midfielder. Kudus has been named as a midfielder.
Sometimes a striker.
Sometimes as a striker. But I'm looking at how he's categorized the players. And I think at the moment, on paper, what he's put out there, every player is placed in the very zone that you think of them at the moment as their best places. Kudus is not in midfield. He's been tagged as a forward player. So I'm thinking maybe he's going to be used in line with what we've seen in more recent times with Ajax. I've always said I don't want Kudus anywhere near central midfield roles when it comes to the BlackStars. I prefer him in more advanced roles where once he gets the ball, he's quick enough to decide on things and make it happen quickly. When it comes to, as you said, the fact that Ghana conceded goals at the World Cup, I'm one of those who think that conceding goals wasn't necessarily conceding goals was a big problem, but was the number of chances we were letting our opponents have. That was the greatest problem for me.
And in the quickest of succession.
Absolutely. And throughout the game, in the game against Uruguay, we forget that there was a goal line clearance when Darwin Nunes chipped Atsrim. That was a chance. In the game against Portugal, he made some saves at Atsrim. In the game against Korea as well, he had to pull off some saves. And that for me is largely because of spaces in our team. When you watch the BlackStars play, there is a huge space, especially at the World Cup, because the more recent time we've seen the boys play. There's a huge space between midfield and defense. There's a huge space between forward players in wide areas and their fullbacks. There is no real proper compactness between our attackers and midfield. And I think that is the very first thing that Chris Hughton has to target. And when you see the goals that we conceded, it all came down to spaces. When you look at the goals against Portugal, apart from the penalty, which was a lovely flick by Joao Felix, Ronaldo going to it, and you can have the debate, was it a penalty or not?
It was a penalty.
All right. But when you look at the goal, when you look at the goal that Joao Felix scored, there was a vast amount of space in that midfield and in behind Baba Rahman. And I agree, Baba Rahman should have done better. Yeah. But when Jordan Ayew lost the ball, if the team is compact enough, somebody is there to apply pressure on Bruno Fernandes before he picks the pass. And Bruno Fernandes could run a mile through midfield to set up Rafael Leao for the third. Yeah. And the game against Korea is not different. The space between Tariq Lamptey and then his forward player in the wide area was acres. It was huge. Yeah. And Korea could operate in that space as well. Yeah. And for the 2 goals they scored, the space between your right back or right full back and Daniel Amate was immense.
So clearly the problem is defined here.
The problem
it's a massive one.
It's a massive one, and the coordination between our defense, midfield, and attack has to be proper. Even when you're attacking, the way you squeeze up determines how early you are able to win the ball in your opponent's half.
Yeah.
When you're defending, the compactness of the team determines how you are able to also carry the ball on for the counter-attacking football. So I think Chris Hughton has to sort that one out. And I think he's got a profile to do it. Because one of the reasons why Brighton decided to let him go because they thought his football was very pragmatic. It wasn't expansive.
Yeah.
It was a bit more defensive. Not because they were not playing well, but they didn't enjoy his brand of football.
Right.
And now we are looking at Christian and thinking he's the one manager who throughout his career has had teams defending way better than we've had our managers drill into the BlackStars.
Yeah.
But more importantly, he's got individuals who are quality in attack. If he can keep the back solid, midfield solid, he's got what it takes to find a pattern for attackers.
Fantastic. Gary, I just be brief for me here because there's something else I need to talk about regarding Chris Hughton, his contract. And the man with all the filler is Nabila. See what I just did there?
Yeah, I saw it.
The man with all the filler is Nabila.
Nabila.
That's right. Gary, quick thoughts on the squad. They said Chris Hughton will be unveiled on the 20th.
Yeah.
That's 4 days before the game on the 24th. Quick thoughts on what you make of everything, really.
Well, what I'm happiest about is that is the public reaction, the general public reaction, because what we probably need more than anything is to carry the people along after the disappointment of the World Cup. And so, whilst monitoring everything that was going on, I was super excited to notice that people generally liked what they were seeing, right? And for me, that was a vote of initial confidence. Good. I've been practicing this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
A vote of initial
yes.
confidence in Chris Hughton. And he couldn't have asked for anything less or anything more.
Okay.
At least the optics in Kumasi probably based on this will be that Chris Hughton squad na okay said the pen and one right into your stadium. What do I say? Your stadium. Stadium. Oh, that's it. Your stadium. That's it. Your park.
Stadium.
Your park. And for me, that is probably the best thing he could have got.
Right.
You know,
You don't say
Hold on,
stadium.
hold on.
You say
Hold on.
stadium.
What a way to introduce yourself into the show.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Please,
Mr. Natalia
let him
Atto has
carry on.
joined us.
Let him carry on. I beg you.
Wait. Nat,
You lost your
hold
train
on,
of thought.
wait
Carry on.
Hold on, no.
Carry on.
Nat, give us one more stadium. Hey there. Warm your voice.
I'm supposed to be in Kumasi in a couple of weeks. I don't want.
We are not saying there's nothing wrong with it.
The man
Let's
was making a point.
Wait,
You know,
no.
he's held his head.
No,
Maybe he's
Nat,
lost his train of thought.
Wait.
Carry on.
Nathaniel Atto.
Yeah.
Also, if you can't like, what's the proper way?
Yeah, kind of stadium. Okay, tree. Not say Obeka stadium. Where can stadium?
That's
Oh,
right.
the amateur no.
Stay.
Uh-huh.
Stay. Stay.
Stadium.
Stay.
Stadium.
Stay.
But if you are breaking it into
Just as in
phonetics,
Amakom.
it makes a lot of sense.
It does. Okay. Oh, so to explain.
STA hyphen DIUM stadium. Easy.
You guys are not correct.
Get to the stadium.
No.
You know,
When they get to the
the stadium.
no.
And they will take practice.
Oh,
Allow.
no.
They will take practice.
Oh, this guy, man. We can't teach you tree again.
No, allow. It will take time.
Stay.
Dium.
No, Diom.
That you are making my
Okay, Gary,
tongue-
finish.
it's Gary.
Anyway, so you know, Chris Hughton, and then the sad demise of his father as well.
Yeah.
It brought a swell of sympathy around him, plus the call up, and then Chris Hughton is going to give us good sound bites.
Yeah.
Calm.
Very good
He feels like a Carlo Ancelotti moment for us. After all the K-Ka and all the things that have been happening, he feels like the
boss has come.
Avram Grant, Carlo Ancelotti, Del Bosque appointments just to calm things down. what will be left will be the football, and we began the analysis of the key areas that should be looked at. And if you looked at some of the analysis that has been done over the last 3 months or so on, by our team at the World Cup, or during the World Cup, we did that to great effect. After the World Cup as well, a couple of pieces, mesh. Did some tactical analysis of the key areas.
Guardiola Junior.
Guardiola Junior. What we should do going forward and all that. And I have a feeling that they know all that. Yeah. Against Angola, what I want to see is like Ten Hag did yesterday when United were 4 up and he wanted 3 extra goals. The way the Angolan manager is talking plenty. It vex me past.
Yeah.
But I guess something for some players.
Do you recall Ghana, Ethiopia, 2017?
Exactly, same. Yeah. Like that Angolan manager. What have they opened for him? Like what have they opened for him? He's talking plenty. And I was going to say that it is not his fault. It is not his fault.
Yeah. It's Comoros' fault.
It is Comoros' fault. and the other one who beat us, what was it? Madagascar. It's all their fault.
Madagascar didn't beat us. Don't do that.
They beat Shan. The Shan team.
I mean, it's Ghana. And for me, Chris Hughton will have to, I think, in carrying the people along, give a certain performance that will set the tone for his. And so I'm happy about the call up, and I'm quite excited about what he would start with in his reign. Long may he reign.
Okay, long may he reign. Thank you very much, Gary Al-Smith, with his thoughts on the BlackStars upcoming game against Angola. Let's welcome aboard our listeners on Twitter Spaces as well. Almost 300 people are listening to us on Twitter Spaces. That's a lot of numbers there. Thank you very much. Going forward, we'll try and find a mechanism where we can add Twitter speakers to the show. Until then, just do the listening and share your comments with us on the platform. Use the hashtag Gameplan. Lots of you have been sending in messages, of course, using that hashtag. I'll read a lot of them for you when we come back from this very, very short break. Also, Muftawu Nabila has all the lowdown on the Chris Hughton contract situation. Why hasn't he signed his contract yet with the BlackStars? 3 weeks after he was announced as head coach. What's going on there? And what potential problems could that bring? Or is just too much fuss about nothing? There's that to come. Also, something brief on the Ghana Premier League. And then people want to hear from Sicho on what he makes of Anthony. Somebody says
Anthony.
Somebody says he hopes if you finally you finally been converted into an Anthony believer. That's right. All of that come. This is Game Plan Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Stay with us. This is Game Plan on Joy 99.7 FM. Nat, you have a TV show very shortly. I'm gonna let you go, but you have something else to say?
Oh.
A lot to say. So you make it.
Charlie, Danike, welcome, man. Welcome. Yeah. Charlie, relax with the fans. So. Before take and go, this guy, before take and go, the Kumasi Demi can go run things for me. Shall we go make money, Charlie, give our fans for me. Give Muftawu fans for me.
Oh, Mufti.
But the best place for you to be right now is Abuja or Lagos, Charlie.
Yes.
Because once
it's Lagos. Lagos.
You see, when you keep tapping your feet like that, then you see, Jagaban coming in. What will you say? When you see Jagaban, what you go to? Anyway, so picking up from where Sitso left, I'm glad as well about this categorization. It's very, very important. For me, we've all been crying about something, and we've all been making noise about something, cohesion in the team. And it is the case that in 2023 we have a squad that is not, you may not necessarily find superstars in, as against the period in the early 2000s to mid 2000s where we could boast of the Essiens, the Montaris, and the Appiahs and all of that. We're at a new era and we need to grow it. Now, for me, a few key things. we always keep talking about having the nuts to take the decisions, okay? And just as he's a silent person or a silent leader, as much as possible, as the optics show us, I would expect that he would have the toughness to take his own decisions and take the responsibility for them. I'm also looking at a few scenarios where players are able to tell stories of growth based on the opportunities that they're getting. So I'm referring to Joseph Fentuo, who didn't have the opportunity to play in the World Cup, even though he had had a fine run of form ahead of the selection of the players. That is on one side. Okay. Then you look at an Inaki Williams, for instance, who clearly is a platinum mine waiting to explode on all of us.
Yeah.
Okay? Or this dynamite waiting to explode on all of us. However, placing support on field and all of that have not exactly come the way we would want it. So I'm looking at a good transition. I'm looking at an improved performance for him, and I'm looking at bigger impact up front. He's yet to record his first goal for us, and it will be amazing, or it will be such a wonderful experience to have him do that if he gets the opportunity to play, in these, in this international encounter. So for me, those are the key things. We have had a certain level of continuity, and for me, that continuity must start yielding fruit. I'm one person who believes very firmly in time and what time can get you to do. And the time story is very much manifested in what Senegal have done with Aliou Cisse. So let's see what time is able to do. I don't know how much patience we as a football collective are going to have for Chris Hughton, but we need the time.
We do. And you see,
we need to,
and not yes, and that's where I was gonna go to next, because that is a massive issue on its own. How many years are we giving him? Are we even giving him a contract at all that that he is willing to accept? Because as it stands now, he still hasn't signed that contract with the Ghana FA or the Ministry of Youth and Sports. But thank you for that. Let me take a few messages here on Twitter, because you're obviously not left out, and I'll take some on WhatsApp as well. This one is from K Kwan on Twitter. I'm reading these messages from Twitter. It says, listening to game plan in the office with less work to do. The lineup be thick past leftover oats.
Charlie.
People get vibes. Hey. Leftover oats.
How do you process that thought?
The guy behind.
Bam says, I already feel the time wouldn't be enough for the show. You have said something. Yes. Rohi, Horticulture, Kofi Ofe on Twitter says, well done for this show. You're back. Don't let anybody bewitch you to take this Friday afternoon sports program off the air again. I have read it. I've intentionally read it.
We have read it on air. Good afternoon, Adam Night. Hey, y'all.
Agenda boys.
Good afternoon.
Very important.
Give the people
It's very important. I'll read it again.
So what did Daniel say?
The voice of the people.
It's the voice of the Lord.
The voice of the Lord.
Yes. It's not the voice of Nabila. Thank you. Kofi Ofe. Garrick, listen. Danny Gay, listen. Sitsofe, listen. Nabila, listen. Nat, listen. Well done for this show. You are back. Don't let anybody bewitch you to take this Friday afternoon sports program off the air again.
Easy.
It's not from me.
Signed and sealed.
Adam, I did not write that.
Come against the spirit of witchcraft.
Amen.
Nobody will be with us.
All right, more messages. Clinton Eleto, he says Daniel Free is no longer in the GPL. Who will be the next player that will enter the local BlackStars agenda list?
Ibrahim Danlad.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
No.
Danlad.
No.
Why not?
Yeah.
We are looking for the best 3 Ghanaian goalkeepers. Danlad wasn't going to go to the World Cup had Wolcott been fit.
Okay.
Because his fit is playing.
All right.
GPL agenda.
We're talking about this
GPL agenda.
GPL
That
agenda.
Charlie, check like I stop. Because the boys
More messages here. Mr. Bones Evans, he says, this is actually my first time listening to this show. It's the first time the show is
Nice episode.
And he says the energy and the hype for this few days of announcing Danny K makes it my favorite show already.
Easy.
Kudos for bringing him on. That's right. Thank you. Oh, Charlie. He says.
See how Daniel is smiling.
He says, oh, Charlie de joy. That's right. Yeah, man. I've got more messages. In fact, plenty. Here's this one. Kwesi Amwako. He says, be part of history. Listen, he says, be part of history. Let's enjoy undiluted sports from Joy Sports. Game plan, all the sauce they there. He says, all the sauce they Fentuo in handle inside. They hold the joy in the city. Thank you.
Spelling bee.
What's the spelling bee?
CITY.
Speller number 997. Your word is city.
CITY. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you didn't ask the origin of the word.
I beg. Thank you very much for the sarcastic one.
Okay.
So you let's carry on.
What is the answer of the word?
All right.
And what does it mean?
Please. Nathaniel Atto, Muftawu Nabila, Gary L. Smith, Sichu. Stop that thing!
Yes, sir.
Moving on. Thank you, Daniel. Moving on. Kewo says, hello, Fentuo. I'm happy to see Daniel reunited with you again. Shouts to Gary L. Smith. I love you guys. This message says, the game plan intro was so mad. Yeah. This show will be epic. And in fact, Danny is a whole vibe. What a guy, he says. This one says, Joy Sports, it feels good to hear Danny K's voice. Honestly, I didn't go to work because of this show. Oh, Chale!
Oh, Chale!
But I hope your boss understands.
Fentuo, hold on. This message should be sent to Adam again.
Somebody could potentially be losing
Losing
their
his
job
job
because of this show.
Yo.
And Adam, we must contribute money for him. I've got more message. In fact, you know what? This one says, this is a message from Big Tries. He says, God did. That's an intro song, bro. Welcome to the Joy family, Danny K. And this one, more messages. Everybody just saying they're enjoying the show. I've got messages on WhatsApp. I'm also looking for thoughts on the BlackStars squad, what we've discussed so far. But it's really good. Good vibes, good energy. I'm very happy with the way the show is going. Let me take these messages here on WhatsApp now. So the WhatsApp people know they are not left out. 055 11 11 997. Stanley in Achimota says, please ask Gary, since Ali Desedi is injured, why didn't we call Andy Yadon? Interesting question. This one says, Sakatu listening from Luton in the UK. Yeah. He says, welcome to the Joy side of light, Danny K. The Galactical squad at Joy is shaping up nicely. On the BlackStars call-up, I think it's a good squad. And all Chris Hughton needs right now is support from Ghanaians and Ket, who will be an ex-president very soon, to allow the man to make the sole decision with regard to tactics and call-ups. Interesting.
Sakatu from Luton.
Don't mind, he don't worry for Twitter pass. Ashok, Ket is president for now. Enjoy. The work can end tomorrow. Hello, Fen. I'm loving the show. Kudos to you guys. It's been fantastic. And he says, tell Coach Matic that he went to report to the phobia chapter organizer at Ghana Police, so he should adhere to the advice of the police, giving him Ni Akrashi, aka Asabiache. Asabiache.
The guy go report.
That's right. ECG. Achimota district. Yeah. The police say make Matic.
No,
stay away.
I just say Matic go report that way. The man who go report that
the policeman.
The policeman said we have when you talk about it, say Charlie Tree say you don't try.
Which explains why the Ghana police advice to him was to stay away.
That's right. More messages. John from Ashimoto says, hi, good afternoon, guys. Please, a special request to Danny K. They should do the famous Coach Odum interview. No, we are not doing that here. We are not doing that here. More messages. This one says, okay, where is it? This one says, my WhatsApp chat is doing every time I want to read a message, then it's
yeah. There was one he was looking for. So yeah. Sure.
This one is from Koforidua, Papa Tieku. He says, you guys are making my day brutal. Let Adam increase the duration of the show. Else, Adam, somebody has sent you a warning. It's not from me.
Look, at this juncture, Adam, we say who best sponsor no ubenya. We say who best sponsor no ubenya.
Okay plan. Oh, Charlie.
Okay. Hey, please, no bell here. Please, No belly. Hey, hold on. Daniel Koranteng.
You see me holding the bell.
No, I did not. But you see, you and I.
Moving on. Thank you. Because I know what they come talk.
So please. Please,
moving on. Nana, I'm supposed to chop 40 today or something.
Yeah, we have wished him happy
No,
birthday.
we go do some small this year.
Yes, Nat,
Yeah.
moving on. Duraplast say for over 50 years, they've been your reliable partner for quality plastic products such as PVC and HDPE pipes of various sizes. And they have over the years progressed to become a leader in the plastic industry in West Africa and part of Central Africa. So, what's next? Yes, where you live matters. Where and how you store your water matters as well. How do you check the level of water in your water storage tank at home or at the workplace? Do you hit the side and listen, or do you climb all the way to the top to look inside? Water tank, the ultimate tank for water storage by Duraplast Limited, comes with an optional water level indicator that lets you know exactly how much water you have in your water tank. That thing is annoying. You go and hit the tank, you want to check where the water is. But they're saying that, yes, they're saying that you no longer need to do that. It's not only beautiful, but it's also designed to carry accurate volumes of water. If it's 5,000 liters, it means 5,000 liters. And of course, it's very durable and available in various sizes. Get yourself a water tank today from Duraplast. What a tank, what a tank. Water tank, what a tank, exactly. Remember, where Duraplast goes, water flows. That's right. And also, it's Ghana month, so Volta Hotel Akosombo and Dodi World welcomes you to our historical month. Did you know that Akosombo is one of the most historical places in Ghana? Did you know that the Volta Lake is the second largest man-made lake in the world? In this Ghana month, Dodi World invites you to come and have a memorable experience on the MV Dodi Princess 2 and get to learn the rich history behind the creation of the Volta Lake, the Akosombo Dam, and other historical monuments by Ghana's first president, Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, while enjoying quality Ghanaian dishes, live entertainment, and exciting fun games on board the MV Dodi Princess 2, Ghana's finest cruise ship. This Ghana month, Volta Hotel is offering a special weekend package from 3rd to the 6th of March. Okay, well, that's gone now. This is where nature awaits you with multifold excitement. It doesn't mean that if you haven't gone on that package, you can't do it again. You can still go there, okay? So for all your bookings, just call the sales team on 050-142-1977. The email is sales@voltahotel.com.gh, voltahotel.dworld, dream, discover, and explore. And speaking about Ghana, man, it is time for yet another one of our biggest cultural explorations here on 99.7 Joy FM as we celebrate Ghana month. Get ready as Showbiz A to Z, your favorite entertainment talk show, takes you on another journey of discovery. Come feel the rich culture and art of the Volta region and explore her magnificent tourist destinations. Experience, please forgive me.
Yeah, we are forgiven.
I'm a Salaman from Tumu. Van Boy, so allow, please, I beg. Experience drumming and dancing, pouring of libation, and a great conversation on the evolution of the Ewe people and their way of life. I'm going with Sicho. Join the discussion on Showbiz A to Z as our prominent guests and indigenes unravel the mysteries and untold stories of the Volta region and her tourism offerings. The date is 11th March. That's tomorrow, 2 p.m. sharp. Live from Afaja to Volta region is the place to be. Showbiz A to Z is hosted by our very own Kwame Dazi, aka Yomo King, powered by Joy Entertainment. That's right. Have you seen the man's hair?
Yep.
Oh, Charlie. I wonder how. Wait.
Charlie,
I wonder how he wears white shirt.
No, but you see, the fella is that when you wear Yomo like that, you sit. There's a special dryer. You sit inside there to dry your hair.
I'm not part of it.
Okay.
No. I have a question to ask. Gary, is this out of experience?
No, you see. I mean, you will talk about it.
My lord.
Please, you
My
have
lord,
not,
may
you
I
have
ask
not
a
done
question?
Yomo before.
My lord, may I ask a question? The panelist referred to the word Yomo.
Hey,
What's the meaning of Yomo?
Salimo,
My lord, we require a
proper explanation.
definite, to say the least. My lord.
Please. You see, the thing is that you and I did not study under snowy conditions. Nabila, you have 3 minutes. What's going on with Chris Hughton's contract?
Wow, that's it.
No, I don't want a long story. Just give us the where are we now with the contract?
So where we now is that the contract is currently with the Attorney General. They expect the Attorney General to give the contract back to the ministry, and it will then go back to the Ghana Football Association, where the two parties would sign an agreement. The contract was forwarded to the Attorney General because over the years, contracts between the Ghana Football Association and BlackStars coaches, we often get to a point where there are issues, and then these coaches would rise and then say that we owe them money, so we have to pay. So this time around, when the GFA drafted the contract with for Chris Hughton, it was sent to the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and they also intend forward it to the Attorney General for advice before the contract is sent back to the parties to sign. The Attorney General, they are responsible for advising us on legal matters.
Yes.
So that's where the contract is. But one interesting thing that also happened was that I do not know. I don't know if do you know that or are you aware that if you are a citizen of the UK and you work outside the UK, there's a certain tax that you would have to pay?
I know for the US.
It was like 40%.
I know for the US.
Okay, so this was also in there. It's also in the contract of Chris Hughton. So
he has to be paying tax back to his home country while working in a foreign country.
that's actually the thing there. And
the deal could be what he gets after tax.
After tax.
So one thing that came up was that the Ghana Football Association, they have accepted that they will pay that tax.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is not going to come from the government of Ghana. The Ghana Football Association say that, okay, we'll take up that cost. So because Chris Hughton actually made it a very big deal. He ensured that it was captured. And when it was sent to the government of Ghana, and the questions were like, why are we going to pay tax?
Sure.
So all these things needed to be discussed, and when they discussed them, the GFA said, okay, we will take up the responsibility of paying that. But even at this moment, it's quite interesting. It is the government who will pay the coach. How would the GFA pay that of only the tax?
Oh, that's not
That shouldn't be a big deal. But all these things were discussed. And the other thing that also came up was the fact that after announcing that Chris Hughton was going to take over the BlackStars coaching job on February 12th, they presented him a contract of 1 year.
So this is where the juice is. Go on. So Chris Hughton has been offered a 1 year contract.
They offered him okay,
go on.
Proceed. You proceed.
And
you
no, I said
something. And Chris Hughton was not happy. He feels he deserves more than a year contract. Of course. And in fact, there was a meeting that happened on December 22. The Executive Council of the Ghana Football Association had a meeting on December 22 where they discussed the appointment of the coach. And that was where it was firmed up that, let's not forget, we have a gentleman agreement with Chris Hughton before he was made the technical advisor of the BlackStars.
He had no contract then.
He had no contract.
Okay.
So this was what actually happened. When the agreement with Otoado, Didi Dramani, George Boateng and co happened, when Otoado took over the BlackStars coaching job in the interim, they divided his money in a way that, okay, so Didi and George Boateng were on $7,500 each. Was 10,000 of that money was going to Otoado per month.
Per month.
It was per month. That was the agreement that they had, and the technical advisor, they needed to find money elsewhere to also sort him out. He was also on like $10,000. That was the agreement they had. But when Otoado finally got the job to prepare us for the FIFA World Cup,
when they signed a 6-month contract,
so they decided to give him the salary they were giving to CK Akono, which was $25,000.
Okay.
So Otoado was on $25,000 when we went to the World Cup. When we went to the World Cup, I had heard many interesting stories. And in fact, remember some time ago, we were having conversation about this appearance fees packages, and when people were saying that they were paid $100,000 sometimes, just sometimes you listen to some of these things, your colleagues are saying it, so it's difficult for you to say otherwise. But the point is that
you have been doing it. You've been replying to people's tweets, and that's not the point.
But I never replied this one.
Okay.
Interestingly, the technical team, the negotiation they had with them were that we cannot pay you $100,000. The technical team were on like $50,000. That's the appearance fee they gave to the technical team members.
Which makes
And
sense.
even in fact, some people were paid $5,000.
Yes.
So members of the backroom staff were not on $100,000 appearance fee, as we heard. But because the government said we don't have $100,000 to pay you.
Yeah.
We don't have it. So if we don't have, what do? We'll give you $50,000, and they agreed. They paid them $50,000. They didn't pay them $100,000.
So I mean, I'm sure there's a listener there is $50,000 each.
Yes, but not for all of them.
Not for all of them.
No,
For
for
the
the
technical
for the technical
team.
team.
For the technical
The
heads.
technical heads, and not even all the
the four of
technical,
them.
not even all the technical heads got 50,000.
Yeah.
No, the technical heads. We look at the two assistant coaches.
So
John
so
Martin,
so
Didi.
we had one technical head who was paid $50,000.
Okay.
The rest went on $50,000.
They were,
Lower.
What about
They
the
were lower.
management members? I think that was the biggest contest.
You see?
No, but, can
So
I- can I-
if they give the
can I
coach,
get this clarification?
if they give the coach $50,000, would they give a management member $100,000?
Massa, this is Ghana. Stranger things have happened.
Stranger
So
things.
if the technical team
Fentuo actually wants me to go in detail, but
No.
But
Let's not
I
go there.
remember I had a
Let's-
conversation with Gary
Sitsofe,
some
you-
time
I
ago
just want
about
to get this
certain things.
clarification. then.
Yes.
If the technical team were paid less than $100,000, what about the playing body?
The playing body, some of them got $75,000, some got $100,000.
It wasn't cut across.
It wasn't cut across.
So,
It wasn't
so
universal.
nobody was paid $100,000.
Some of the players got $100,000.
And
Some
what
got
was-
75. So as many as 4 players that I know got $75,000.
And none of the technical members, the head got,
No one got
more
100.
than that.
No one got 100,000.
Yeah, you see, and I find that very strange because we've all been called out for the World Cup. What's the justification for paying
Paying
one
somebody
player
less
more than
and
the
paying
other?
somebody more.
But that's not the matter of
That's
conversation. now.
not a matter. We are talking about
Let's move on. So
Yeah.
Chris Hughton is being offered a 1-year
a
contract.
1-year contract.
He's not happy with
He's
it.
not happy. He's not happy
So
about
he hasn't signed.
No, but the contract will need to come from the Attorney General before he will sign. If the contract doesn't
So
come from
if the
Attorney
contract comes back from the Attorney General and they say from the legal point of view this is fine,
Yes.
they still need to find an agreement with Hughton
With-
on
with
the
Chris-
duration.
on the duration. And in fact, one of the reasons why Chris Hughton is actually disappointed was that the initial discussions were 3 years. And all of a sudden, they put 1 year on the table.
On the table.
Basically until after the AFCON.
And-
So
and-
he's
and
in charge
if-
until after the AFCON.
Yeah, so if I were in the position of Chris Hughton, I would also be very disappointed.
Wow.
Chris Hughton is not a small boy. He's a big guy.
Yeah, I mean, big boy.
I mean,
And
that,
to give him 1 year contract suggests that you don't even have confidence in the
That's
abilities
the
of
point.
the man.
uh,
And others have also said that just maybe because we are in an election year of the Ghana Football Association, people do not want to give long-term contracts. But the BlackStars is not going into any election.
Yeah.
It is a different entity. So if you are signing on a coach for say 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and in fact, I was having a conversation with someone who told me that even if he were to advise the Ghana Football Association, he would tell them to give him 5 years.
Of course.
I mean, to be honest, the template is there. In modern times, the coaches that have won the World Cup have been in charge for a significant number of years.
Yes.
You know, Daniel, quickly, what do you make of all of this? I mean, he's named the squad, and he's still struggling to find an agreement with the FA. Is still struggling to after 3 weeks after they named him as head coach. So what was the conversation before they even named him? In the
Just
first
before
place?
Daniel even coming, they named him before they put the contract on the table.
What are you talking? I mean, come. Oh man, this is so not.
We keep going back in circles. Anyway,
Daniel,
you know what?
yeah.
This matter. Don't worry. Daniel, you know, I won't take your opinion on that matter again because I can see that you are boiling. But we really need to move the conversation on. This is Game Plan on Joy 99.7 FM. My name is Fentuo Tahiru Fentuo. Muftawu Nabila, you heard him giving us details on Chris Hughton's contract. So you're clear now. The man has not signed a contract yet to coach the BlackStars. In fact, he doesn't even have an agreement with the FA yet or the Ministry of Youth and
There's a
Sports.
gentleman agreement.
On duration, let me finish the sentence. On the duration of the contract. So, as it stands, still a long way to go until he puts pen to paper on that contract. As to how all of this affects his preparations for the next game and the unveiling, whether all of that will even be solved before the unveiling on the 20th. That remains to be seen. But I think that it is clear what everyone's opinion is. GFA, Minister of Youth and Sports, sort this out now. Like, sort it out. Give the man a long-term contract. If you have to sack him and pay a compensation, why not? Sack him and pay. You've been doing it anyway. Everybody, because Abia was in court, Lakona was in court. That's it. Sack and pay. It's the norm everywhere. It's not like you've been doing it. And you see, there's no way of telling whether the man will succeed or not. We all don't have, we are not fortune tellers. So, but just giving a significant duration, maybe 3 years.
2023.
Exactly.
You are going for IMF. You want to do sack and pay. You stay and work. When you finish, you go.
But the thing that I don't actually even get, maybe legal processes often take a while. But this contract was actually sent to the Attorney General, if my memory serves me right. That was somewhere February 12th.
Interesting.
And in a month.
Yeah, we're having head back. All right, so anyway, this is Gameplan on 99.7 Joe FM. Guys, let's switch our attention to something brief now. European football. There's a lot of football this weekend, but there was also a lot of football in midweek. UEFA Champions League. PSG knocked out again. Chelsea 2 wins on the bounce. Man United bounced back from the humiliation of last weekend, winning comfortably against Real Betis in the Europa League. Arsenal got a significant draw away from home despite fielding a much changed squad. Quick thoughts on the Champions League. Bayern Munich 8 wins out of 8. Siso, I don't know where you want to start from. Chelsea progressing, Antonio Conte getting kicked out, and now suddenly he and Richarlison, I can't wait for them. They're going to punch each other in training.
Have you heard what Conte has said about Richarlison?
No, I only heard Richarlison's part.
So when Richarlison said, and even excused himself when he was saying, they used the word that his season has been bad.
Yes.
But I used a word which is harsher than that his season has been bad, obviously because of injuries and everything.
Of course.
He hasn't been picked. Conte says, he heard the interview, he's seen it. Richarlison didn't criticize Conte. Richarlison described Richarlison's season, that he had a bad season.
Right.
That is why he's not been playing. You don't fight Antonio Conte. Richarlison shouldn't have started that team. He won't win it.
I said they will punch each other in training.
But I think Chelsea deserve to go through over the 2 legs.
Okay.
They were by far the better team. And I think Thomas Tuchel did something that he's not done in a long while. He's found
Potter, please. The Potter.
Hey,
Sitcho. Hey, Sitcho. You know, in your head, Tuchel is still in charge.
Graham Potter. Something Chelsea fans want, but won't happen. Graham Potter has done something right in more recent times. You know, one of the systems that is very he loves different systems, but one system that he's very comfortable with is that back three. But you can't have an effective back three without proper wing backs. And so when Chilwell and Reece James were off, he struggled. And now that they are back and sharp and playing well and fit, we've seen what he was able to produce in the last game against.
That's too much.
No, but we've seen the clear signs. I'm not saying that Chelsea are home and dry, but they've played a lot better in these 2 games than they've done under him.
Agree.
And the one thing, the way he's deployed Kai Havertz also makes a lot of sense. Even though he's playing in between Joao Felix and Sterling, he's not the one going to make the run to receive the ball. He's dropping to carry the ball from midfield and feed it to Raheem Sterling and Joao Felix. And we saw his impact in the game against Dortmund. He was immense.
Yeah.
As for Conte losing out in Champions League on Wednesday nights, it's normal. That is him. Conte will never do well in midweek because of the way he trains his players. There's no time to explain, but like it's true.
No.
Hold on. Did you read Shalini's book?
Yeah. No, but the way Conte trains his players,
yes,
it's impossible that he does well in midweeks.
Wow.
Yes, another time we'll talk about that. But it's impossible. He won't thrive.
Is the week a contributing factor?
And he will not. Yeah, and as for PSG, if you start, I'm not sure we'll finish because you cannot play any football game at this level and have 2 players who don't work.
Yeah.
Against 11
No, relax.
who are working.
Before a certain man came, they had made a Champions League final and a Champions League semi-final. When the man walked into the team, back-to-back round of 16 exits, he's the problem. If we are using that logic for somebody else, then we can use the same logic for this person.
What you want to
the
say is
moment
that
he walked into the team,
Who? You haven't named names.
No.
Who is that body?
Let's give a proverb.
is it not the Mercurial Argentine?
No. Oh, tie. Abaye the bottom man. And one the boss shot man.
I will not let you do this.
Look, Abaye the boss shot Dutchman, no. And one near the bottom.
Joshua Koranteng will tell you that the punch they give you in America, you make money. It's the same punch they'll give you in Ghana, but you will not make money.
It's the same. No, but friends, like I was saying, like it's practically impossible. You can't have 2 players who don't work hard. It's easy to do it for Argentina when all the 10 players who work for you, you work. It's easy to do it for France when all the 10 players will do it for you and then you work. But when you've got 2 players against Bayern Munich who are machines, it's impossible. And PSG has spent all the money, but their team looks terrible. They have no depth on bench, in the bench, no quality on their bench. Bayern Munich were bringing on money. Nabri, Sani. They were bringing on who? So I think it's a failed project.
That was a lot of quality.
Yeah, it's a failed project for PSG, and they didn't deserve to go through.
Yeah.
And Bayern Munich really did deserve to go through.
Welcome back. When you hear that tune, it's a new segment we are introducing into the show. The segment is called Pardon My Take. And today is our very special, the one on whose behalf, on whose might we put this show together, that's going to have his own version of Pardon My Take. Daniel Koranteng, you started a certain agenda against Messi, but you see, we'll pick up that conversation later. But today on Pardon My Take, Daniel, you go.
Pardon my take, but Jordan Ayew is the most important player in the BlackStars team.
Charlie, don't do that.
Daniel.
It's true.
60 seconds.
Look, the hard work of Jordan Ayew allows players, in Citro's words, who walk around to succeed. Seriously. Jordan Ayew, see, I always say that.
Which players walk around in the BlackStars?
But don't do that.
Which players walk?
Don't do that. Don't
Are you talking about his brother?
Is he not a BlackStars player?
So you are saying that Jordan is always cleaning up for his brother
and somebody else.
Who is the other person?
Don't do that.
No, he has 60 seconds. Why? Allow them, man.
The Uruguay game.
Yeah.
Do you know why they put a certain number 9 on the wings?
Yes.
And the guy who was playing the wings throughout the tournament in number 9?
Yes.
Because that guy wasn't working.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's true.
He's a star boy. But a Jumano. Onye.
Onante.
So Jordan must play. Jordan must play for the rest of them to thrive. You may not like it.
And to work.
You may not like it. You see? But he's sacrificing himself for the benefit of others.
Cambo Jordan.
If Jordan doesn't play and somebody else plays, Ghana will become like PSG. Not do that to our national team.
With Jordan Ayew. With less money.
With less money. Jordan Ayew is very important.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Daniel Koranteng's take. Thank you very much. We will say Pardon My Take is brought to you by
Yo. This is Joy FM.
That is right.
This is Joy FM.
That is right.
If you cough, we'll sponsor it.
That is it. And so yes, this will become a permanent feature on the show. Towards the end of the show, we'll have one member of the team or 2 people, depending on what's really burning in your heart, on Pardon My Take. Today, Daniel Koranteng.
5 seconds.
Yes.
You say if you cough, they will sponsor it.
Oh, this is Joy FM.
I'm looking for a sponsor for.
Charlie, friends.
Yes, Sitsofe.
You have to pardon my take on another day.
Okay, no, I will.
Charlie.
Next Friday.
You know the force. It's sharp. It's
okay. It's okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. That has been our show today. That's Gameplan on 99.7 Joy FM. We came your way from 355 Fanofa Street. That's what it is. Thank you so much. We appreciate all your time. For all of you that tune in on Facebook, on Twitter Spaces, we appreciate every single one of you. This show will be available later as a podcast, and you can listen back if you missed it. It's an hour and 15 minutes of pure joy, pure entertainment. Sitsofe, Philip, Atsrim joined us here as special consultant. Daniel Koranteng, a.k.a. Riri. This was his first show. It was good to really have him. Gary L. Smith, Nabila, Abdullahi, Muftawu in his yellow socks today. By the time the show has ended, the guy's socks have turned from green to yellow. Thank you very much. Mr. Nathaniel Atto as well.